Have you ever wondered why happiness feels so fleeting? One moment you're on top of the world, and the next, it's gone, slipping through your fingers like sand. Psychologists have studied this mystery for decades, and spiritual teachers for thousands of years. Both arrive at a strikingly similar truth. Happiness is not something you chase, it's something you uncover. Today, let's dive into the hidden psychology of happiness and the timeless spiritual wisdom that reveals its deepest secret. But before that, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you won't miss the next video. By the end, you'll not only know what happiness really is, but also how to live it. The psychological puzzle of happiness. In psychology, there's something called the hedonic treadmill. Imagine running endlessly on a treadmill. You keep moving, but you never truly arrive. That's how humans often experience happiness. You get the new job, the new phone, the new relationship. For a while, you feel great. But soon, that excitement fades, and you're right back where you started, looking for the next thing. This isn't because we're ungrateful or broken. It's because our brains are wired for survival, not lasting joy. Our ancestors needed to stay alert to danger, not sit in bliss for hours. So the brain constantly searches for what's missing rather than what's enough. But here's the paradox. Psychology also shows that true happiness doesn't come from external rewards. It comes from how we perceive and relate to our inner world. In other words, happiness is not out there, it's in here. The spiritual key. Now, let's look at spirituality. From Buddhism to Stoicism, from Taoism to modern mindfulness, there's a repeating message. Happiness is the natural state of being when the mind is quiet. The Dalai Lama once said, "Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions." But these actions aren't about chasing, they're about aligning with presence, with gratitude, with acceptance. Think of it this way. Clouds pass across the sky, but the sky itself never changes. Your thoughts and emotions are the clouds, sometimes dark, sometimes light. But the sky is your deeper awareness. Happiness comes not from controlling the weather, but from realizing you are the sky, not the storm. The psychological practices. So how do we bridge psychology and spirituality? Let's look at 3 powerful practices. First, gratitude rewiring. Studies show that writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day literally rewires the brain. It activates the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for joy and decision-making. Spiritually, gratitude is like opening the heart. It reminds you that what you seek, you already have. Second, mindful presence. Psychology calls it flow state. Spirituality calls it presence. When you're fully engaged, whether painting, cooking, or simply breathing, you lose the sense of lack. Happiness emerges naturally when the mind is not in the past or future, but in the now. Third, compassion connection. Research shows that acts of kindness trigger the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Spiritually, compassion dissolves the illusion of separation. When you help others, you're not just giving happiness, you're expanding your own. The deeper truth. Here's the secret most people miss. Happiness is not a goal, it's a side effect. When you live aligned with your values, when you are present in your life, when you embrace both joy and pain with openness, happiness rises like a byproduct. Think of it like sunlight. The sun doesn't try to shine, it simply is. Happiness is the same. It appears when we stop blocking it with endless desires, comparisons, and fears. Psychologists tell us happiness is about perception. Spirituality tells us happiness is our essence. Put them together and you realize the work isn't about finding happiness. The work is about removing what hides it. A guided reflection. Take a moment, close your eyes if you can. Breathe in deeply, hold it for 3 seconds, and release. Now, think of one small thing in your life you're grateful for right now. It could be the device you're listening on, the comfort of your chair, or simply the breath that keeps you alive. Notice how your body feels when you focus on that gratitude. Notice how the mind softens, even just a little. That's the seed of happiness. Not a grand achievement, not $1 million, not some future milestone. Just this moment, just this breath. So here's the real secret to happiness. It's not something you achieve, it's something you allow. It's not outside you, it's within you. And the more you remember this, the less you'll chase happiness, because you'll already be living it. Happiness is the meeting point of psychology and spirituality, where science shows us how the brain works, and spirit shows us who we truly are. So, the next time you ask yourself, how can I be happy? Remember, the answer is simple. Stop searching and start seeing.